The ride up from Grindelwald on the gondola car to Maennlichen is the longest gondola car ride in Europe. I didn't time it, but it's in excess of about 30 minutes. However, the scenery is significant so that one does not get bored in the least. And I was up there by 10:30 or so in the morning. This group of people were playing pan flutes, and it sounded beautiful. You can't hear it because I blocked the sound. There was about a year-old kid being stuffed into a carry-on backpack and was not happy at all about it, so we won't listen to him scream. The views of the Eiger are striking. The camera at full close-up is quite unstable handheld, so that's why it looks like there's an earthquake going on. In any event, you can see that the weather was such that you could look 360 degrees and scarcely find a cloud. That's the Schilthorn at the top of that jerky picture. Looking below, you can see Wengen, and then further below its high plateau you can see Lauterbrunnen, and the new cable system taking people up is that straight line right across there that goes to Grutschalp and the beginning of the Grandfather's Walk. Over in the far middle you can see Muren perched up on its ledge. The angle of the sun is such that it's not the greatest way to video these big three mountains at this particular time of day. It does get better as the angle of the sun decreases. There's our cloud of the day hovering up over the Schilthorn and its neighbors. Looking downward you can see the avalanche fences, and you'll note the cable car coming up from Wengen. This whole outfit was destroyed several years ago by an avalanche and has been rebuilt entirely. The peak in the distance is the Gipfel, or the peak of the Maennlichen. This is a spot where a lot of people go to make photographs, commercial and otherwise. Now we're looking eastward, downward toward Grindelwald and the Grosse Scheiding. There were a fair number of people up there on this particular day because of such beautiful weather and the fact that it was a Sunday. I stood in the shadow to try to get some pictures without sun interference and to show the north face of the Eiger. You can see the white spider right near the top with an adjacent snowfield. The spider looks like it has legs. Again, eastward you can see the Schreckhorn and the Wetterhorn along with the Grindelwald Glacier. There is a way to walk down to Wengen from here, and you might see a little zigzag of the Wanderweg in that direction. I can't imagine what one's knees would feel like after that day's journey. This is the car bringing my friends up. and you can see that it's possible to go from Grindelwald to Wengen, go over the top of the Maennlichen without too much hard work, or just as much as you'd like. These cable cars hold more people than you'd think, but they run about every 10 or 15 minutes back and forth. You just have to be careful and get off the mountain by 5:30, which is the last run of the day. If you want to see sunsets or sunrises, you have to walk up further. Now there are a few clouds beginning to form, but these were high and fluffy. There's no bad weather today. The mountain on the right in the foreground is the Lauberhorn, from which the famous ski race gets its name. And in the distance you can see Eiger, Münch, Jungfrau, Joch, and to the far right out of the picture is the Jungfrau. And there she comes. We were on the lookout for avalanches, and I thought I heard one, but I never could see it. The Jungfrau Joch comes in close. There were probably a lot of people up there on this particular day. Avalanches in the mountains sound like jet planes, but on Sunday there are no jet planes. There's a very nice mountain guest house and restaurant at the top, and they were doing a real business. There again's the Grosse Scheidegg and the neighboring mountains. The glaciers have dramatically decreased in size everywhere. This was about 3:30 in the afternoon. You can tell the afternoon clouds are beginning to form. But this day there was no real cloud on the Eiger face. That little puff is not close. And over to the north there was still pretty weather. That's looking toward Lake Thun and Interlaken down in the valley. On the way down, I got a chance to get more pictures of the north face from the cable car, and it was fortunate that on this trip the cable car had a planned stop. So I just hung there and waited for the car to quit swinging, and you could see things much better. This is all covered with snow in the wintertime and lots of skiers. There are a lot of ski lifts around that at this point in the year are basically unused. It cost me 25 francs round trip with the half fare card, and I think the Swiss Pass would give you the same discount. There should be some better pictures of the white spider right now. You can see on the left hand side Looks like there's a baby spider to the right, but this is one of the routes that the climbers take to get off to the top. All in all, it was a nice day getting to see the big three up close again.